Welcome back to Path of Exile 2, where everything has changed for the most part. Got a lot of things to take care of here. Here is some things happening in the corner. Gaining cast speed, gaining area of effect, but it's dropping down percentage and it's going back up. Now this one's going down. So that's something with the points, which have also all been refunded, and also all the everything. We can't hold this because we don't have the intellect for it, because all the passive skill points have been refunded. Full passive skill reset. Character has been granted a one useful passive skill reset. Okay, we'll refund any other passives before using this opportunity. They'll be lost. Okay. Item requirements: 21 more intelligence required. Thanks. We don't get a time thing passive reset, I suppose. It's still here. What are these doing? We got from here cast speed, area of effect, sands of time. This is one where we're using, that used to be every once in a while we can attack really fast. So what's this doing now? Sands of time grants 60% increased cast speed, scaling down to 1% over 10 seconds, at which point it will then scale back up to 60%. Also grants 1% increased area of effect, going up to 60% over 10 seconds, at which point it will scale back down to 1%. How incredibly back and forth. So essentially, what this boils down to is, over time, 30% increased cast speed and 30% increased area of effect. And if you can time your spells that use cast speed and the ones that use area of effect based on when it is on this constantly switching back and forth every 10 seconds business, you'd be slightly more effective, I guess. That's definitely something. Buffs expire 10% slower. Recovery rate. Curse zones erupt after 10% reduced delay. Okay. Inevitable Agony is a spell that we don't have. Curse all targets in area after a short delay, causing a portion of damage to take from hits to be tracked by the curse debuff. When the debuff duration expires, to take that tracked damage again all at once. Okay. So it's a curse. AoE duration. Causing a portion of the damage to take from hits to be tracked. Curse applies after 1.5 second delay, radius of 2.8 meters, duration 7 seconds. Curse targets take 31% of hit damage dealt to them while cursed, again when the curse expires. Taking damage again, this way cannot inflict ailments on the cursed target. So, no ailments, so we wouldn't get them set on fire again. Additional effects, reduced delay, doesn't matter. That's definitely something. So it's just extra damage when it comes off. But only for enemies that survive the 1.5 second delay and then the 7 second duration, and then are still there, and then they take an additional 31% of only the hit damage that they took while they were there. Very specific. It's definitely something. 4% damage recouped his life, great. Recoup effects instead occur over 4 seconds. Damage for a hit recoup causes you to recover an amount the stated resource equal to a percentage of damage it took over 8 seconds. So the recouping effect is over 8 seconds, not like instant or anything. And this makes that happen slightly faster. Okay. Debuffs, inflict have 6% increased slow magnitude, to help if we're doing freeze and stuff. Enemies in your presence are slowed by 20%. That could be fun. We got further down here. Skills have 33% chance to not consume a cooldown when used. Okay. Temporal Rift is a buff persistent. Put on time 5.5 seconds, cast time 0.5 seconds. While active, passively leaves afterimages of a recent past. Cast a spell to return to the oldest afterimage, teleporting to that location, resetting your life man and energy shield. That is the hat at the time. Could make use of that. Excellent 16 afterimages, grant afterimage every 0.25 seconds. Spell speed cannot be modified. Cooldown recovery. So we're just leaving afterimages, and then if you use that spell, you can teleport back few seconds. Maximum of 16 after images, quarter of a second between, so you can go back in time 4 seconds to whatever your life, mana, and energy shield were at that time. So keeping track of when that would be. Something. Buffs expire 10% slower. Time freeze. This large wave that stops time for all effective enemies for duration. Which is lower the more times the enemy has been stopped. Wave radius 10 meters. Freeze duration 3 seconds. If enemies have time freeze duration half each time they've been frozen in the past 30 seconds. We could stop everybody for 3 seconds. And then stop them again for 1.5 seconds. Cooldown time 57.5 seconds. So, not really. We need something to refresh the cooldown time to be able to even use that again in the past 30 seconds. Cooldown recovery rate, time snap, and time resetting the cooldowns of all your other skills. Well, there you go. In order to get any more of any of this, we need to get the next tiers of ascendancy stuff. That's the whole thing. Alright. There's also been changes along all the paths and stuff. We have 76 skill points available on different traces. Attribute. So what's what we currently have here? Set all passives. Set all your passive skills. Unable to reset them. We are unable to reset them again later. We're going to reallocate them. Do you want to proceed? No, I think we're all right. As we look at the ones we currently have, we kind of put that in. We got plus spell damage, plus spell damage, plus spell damage. Spell damage and intelligence, cast speed, cast speed, cast speed. Energy shield and intelligence. Have these allocated. Energy shield recharge rate, energy shield, ailment threshold, and stun threshold based on the energy shield. Energy shield recharge, faster start. Increase energy shield recharge rate, faster start, energy recharge rate. 8% elemental damage. Flammability magnitude, freeze build-up, shock chance. 20% increase flammability magnitude. Amazing. So what we want to do is get through here to different places, which also might all be different now. So it's a lot to consider. We've got 76 skill points available, which is wild. I also need to look through all the different spots for everything we want. We probably still want all the fiery stuff. Fire penetration, elemental damage, ignites are faster, 8% extra fire damage, fire resistance, fire damage, fire damage, fire damage, fire damage, flammability magnitude, ignite magnitude, fire penetration, fire damage, attribute. Immune to ignite, affected by a flame archon. What? 20% chance to gain a flame archon when you ignite an enemy. I mean, we're igniting things all the time. Flame archon grants 25% more fire damage with spells, compared to 100% elemental damage with spells to fire damage. Cannot deal non-fire damage with spells, so it's 100% more flammability magnitude. I mean, I want all that. I want all this fieriness. I think these are a new archon thing for each of the elements here. Reduce magnitude of ignite on you. Increase elemental damage. Increase fire damage. Increase fire damage. 40% reduced magnitude of ignite on you. Gain 50% of damage as extra fire damage while on ignited ground. Okay. What do we got here? Plus 1 to maximum fire infusions. Some skills create elements of infusion remnants when specific conditions are met. Remnant grants you infusion for 20 seconds until you're consumed by another skill. We have to look through all the skills too. That's the whole thing. Yeah, boy. We definitely want all of this fieriness. This seems like exactly what we want. Let's function our way to go straight up that way. We're currently to here. So we can go through any of these we want. Critical spell damage, critical hit chance for spells. I don't know if we really care about critical. Use energy shield, recharge rates, ability magnitude. 12% increased spell energy if you've consumed an elemental infusion recently. What's an elemental infusion? Those are the remnants from some skills. Again, we have to determine if any of the skills give that. And we also have stuff here. We've got Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Interlude, Endgame. So there's no more cruel mode or anything. Here's Act 2. Here's Act 3. Legacy of the Vol. Here's Interlude. Some the Dreadboarded. The Wear Spear. Oh, Yeti. Is there Act 4 here? Might be in the League thing or whatever. Here's our stuff. Probably at minus a little bit. Comparatively. Got a little bit of intelligence from something. Shield is weak because we haven't had upgrades to that. Our gear isn't working. Our stuff has things. I can't be used for 103. Yep. 113. Fusion Spirits works, apparently. Or not. 92. Let's look at everything that everything does and all the different gems. May do more things different now. Oh, there's a lot to look at. A lot of different stuff. We're gonna start by just putting stuff in here. Do we think we're gonna get elemental infusions? I don't know. I don't know if we will or not. We don't have this one either. Let's increase elemental infusion duration. That's gonna be collected from 50% further away. Sounds like a lot of these are doing infusion-y stuff. If we look at our stash here too. We get the gems. Here is Incinerate. Make a new higher level fireball if we wanted to. Almost just take out all of our gems we have here. Mana remnants. 14 is what we're using here. Amber Fusillon. This is your only level 15 spell. Also have all these. I'll be casting 1. Construction. And look at all of these different things too. Amber Fusillon, the second one. We can use multiple different gems too. Multiple of the same thing. Elemental Weakness. That's a different thing. Raging Spirits. Flame Blast. Solar Orb. That's everything from there. Stashing gems. Support gems. Level 1. All these. Store all these in here. Yep. I find Area 1, Fiend Frenzy 1, Turn Flame 1. Skill Gems. There's Elemental Weakness level 12. We have a 14. Uncuts. Level 0. Level 12, 13, 14. These are not organized. Awkward. Support gems. We need some skill gems. 14. We get a skill gem 14 fireball here. What's that for an idea? Let's see what we got. Warning. Intelligence required, I know. Here's some 13 required. Flame Blast. We needed... What's this? Fireball. Level 14. In case you want to use that. Fireball. Level 14. I know. I know it's required. Just let me do it. It's not letting me do it. Okay. Look at all the different spells he gives. This is all the same spells we had before. We have Flame Wall. It's a wall of fire for the character, ignites everything within area, projectiles fire through the wall by you and your allies to add fire damage. Consumes a lightning infusion if possible to also add lightning damage to projectiles. Not gonna have any lightning infusions. Sure. There's no fireball. Large ball of fire which explodes on impact. Explosion consumes a fire infusion if possible to launch a ring of smaller fire bolts. All these infusions seem like they're really going to be a big deal here. Let's see which ones make infusions. This ignites everything. This one explodes. Living bomb, also technically a fire thing. Plant a seed of fire inside an enemy and deal enough damage. Enemy killing outright causes the seed to explode, dealing damage in area and leaving behind a fire infusion remnant. Alright. So living bomb makes a fire infusion. Interesting. Ember Fusillade. Conjure a blazing ember that hovers above you. After a short duration, the ember launches at an enemy, doing fire damage to an area on impact. As the last enemy targeted, recasting this spell. Sets the duration for all active embers. Both embers fire in the same fusillade to target different enemies. Consumes a lightning infusion if possible to cause the entire fusillade to create beams that chain to enemies. No. Doesn't make or use a fire infusion. Frostbolt, snap. Temporal chains. It's a curse. Elemental weakness, mana tempest. Well, slightly different things. AoE duration curses. We got elemental weakness. That's one we had. Curses all targets in area after a short delay, lowering their elemental resistance. Applies after a 1.5 second delay. Does not apply to enemies above level 72 for some reason. Maybe we just need a higher level of it. Curse radius. Curse inflicts minus 53% to elemental resistances. Duration 7 seconds. That's a larger infliction of the curse than it was before, I think. That's interesting. Also have temporal chains. Curse enemies in area, slowing them and making other effects on them expire more slowly. Don't apply to enemies above level 72 again. Radius slows targets by 53%. Curse makes other effects on targets expire 25% slower. So, like, they'll be on fire for 25% longer or something. It also just slowed by 53%, which is something. And this is still specifically lightning. Cold, fire, lightning, duration, curse. Okay. Incinerate. Gain fuel by spending mana on any skill. What? Gain fuel by spending mana on any skill. Then use the accumulated fuel to conjure a torrent of fire from your hand, igniting enemies in front of you. Flames grow stronger along your channel. Consume a fire infusion, if possible, to also create ignited ground. So it no longer just automatically creates ignited ground. It needs a fire infusion from somewhere. Inflicts 8% less flame magnitude, 50% less ignite duration, 8 milliseconds of fuel per mana spent. Store up to 10 seconds of fuel. So to store up fuel to use this. And they can only make ignited ground if we also have a fire infusion. Deals more damage per stage. 12 stages. Interesting. Firestorm. Rain flame bolts over the target area. Can consume all 3 types of elemental infusion, becoming much larger when fire infused. As in lightning bolts when lightning infused and raining ice bolts when cold infused. Deals fire damage. Impact radius. Storm radius. Storm duration. 1 impact every 0.0 seconds. Fire infusion grants 200% increased bolt frequency. Fire infusion grants plus 1.8 meters storm radius. Limit of 1 firestorm. Flame blast. Channel ability. Destructive energy around you. Releasing energy. Causes a devastating explosion. It's larger, more intense the longer you're channeled for. Does fire damage. Bigger per stage. Modifiers to cast speed affect the skill's cost. 10 stages. Explosion radius. Alright. So is there anything in here that actually makes fire infusions besides the living bomb? I'm not currently seeing anything. So if that's the only thing that does that, I don't know how much we're really going to be able to rely on there being fire infusion remnant things. What else do we have in here? Elemental. There's also occult stuff. This is more the summoning kind of side of things. Let's use a spirit. So, probably not. Or elemental. Primal things coming soon. Flails. Got maces, axes coming soon. Crossbows, swords coming soon. We got spears, bows, quarterstaffs, daggers coming soon. All gems. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Elemental stuff. Well, it says that some produce the bits. It seems like it was only... one of them? Living bomb. What's this over here now? It's fire. Snap arc. Lightning stuff. Cold comet. Flame blast is here. Why this? This is moved around slightly to be not all fire on the same side. Weird. So, I think in terms of leaving behind a fire infusion remnant, and what even is benefited by the fire infusion remnants? This one would take a lightning one. Consume a fire infusion, the fireball. Launch a ring of smaller firebolts. Want to do a bunch of fireballs. Infused saw just consumes lightning. There's a lot in here for trying to do all kinds of different spells and different elements and stuff. That's what I can really deal with right now. Incinerate would consume a fire infusion to maybe make ignited ground. We need to store up fuel and everything. Firestorm takes the fire and does more fire. That's at least something. It's an idea. Kinda. Okay. Whole bunch of new stuff in here. Intro's not gonna be accurate, is it? +1 to maximum fire infusions. Okay. In terms of increased spell damage, you consumed an elemental infusion recently. Define recently. Past 4 seconds. Okay. Archon. So Archon, what we get from the infusion? 20% chance to get Flame Archon when you ignite an enemy. That just happens when you ignite things. Okay. The Archon and the infusions are separate things. That's still useful. Let's head up that direction. Still away from that. Increase flammability magnitude. Air shield recharge rate. Faster start. Max mana and mana regeneration rate also. Also need to look through this entire thing here. We got 76 points. We can get to some places we really want. And then consider other options. Orb skills have +1 to limit. Cast stuff. Exposure effects. Skills have a 10% chance to not remove elemental infusion, but still kind of consuming them. 30% increased spell damage if you've consumed elemental infusion recently. Again, that says past a few seconds. We need things to just make a lot more infusions. Black Flame Covenant. Fire spells can give 100% fire damage to chaos damage. Chaos damage from fire spells can do flammability and ignite. And fire spells deals chaos damage instead of fire. How specific. There's too many things in here, honestly. We can start by just getting all this fiery stuff. Just search by We're gonna have some fiery stuff. We're gonna have some shieldy stuff. We're gonna have some elemental stuff. Flame ability magnitude. Enemies ignited by you. -%, 5% fire resistance. Fire infusions. Fire chaos damage. 20% chance for spell skills to fire 2 additional projectiles. 6% damage for additional projectiles. More projectiles per thing. That's interesting. Lots of fiery stuff up here. Let's just make our way that way at least to start. Go through. Increased elemental damage. We can always come back for more stuff too. Take that. Like this. Attribute. Intelligence. Attribute. Intelligence. Attribute. Intelligence. Attribute. Intelligence. Ruby Jewel. Stun threshold. That's super helpful. Intelligence. Fusion. Here's intelligence. Let's see if we can get more points to count for other attributes instead of just intelligence. For now. Increase fire damage, flammability. Fire damage, flammability, fire damage, flame magnitude, fire damage, flame magnitude. 10% chance when we ignite, which we do a lot. Increased effect. Immune to ignite while affected by the Archon. I mean, I don't really care about that. I'd rather that be turn them on fire instead. Fire damage, fire damage, fire damage, fire damage. 8% of damage is extra fire damage and some resistance. Fire damage, penetration, 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 and extra fire damage. Flammability magnitude. There's a debuff that provides the chance for hits to ignite the target. It's not the element itself that closely associated with ignite, which it is. So, they will burn more, often, faster, and ignite more. It's gonna be great. Okay. I used up a lot. What other stuff can we do here? More fire infusions. More damage to do with fire infusion. This stuff. Fire infusion. Anywhere else that has anything about fire infusions? Just here. Other ones have elemental infusion. Essence infusion. Thanks. You've named the thing. Change to not remember infusions. Student elemental infusion. Need more things are actually making these infusions. Want to play around that style here. So few actually have that. Infusion duration. I only have the one thing that's actually given us infusions. This is igniting. I wonder if we can really rely on these infusion things. Some skills create elemental fusion remnants. Only like one of them did. Specific conditions are met. 20 seconds consumed. 3 of each infusion by default. Only some of them consume only some of them. Questionable. Eh. reduce momentum on you. Care about that. Elemental damage. We also just search for a whole bunch of energy shield stuff. Want to get some more of that going? Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Master start. Increase energy shield recharge rate. Recharge rate's also good. Energy recharge rate. Master energy shield. Maximum energy shield. Mana regeneration. Intelligence. 25% increased energy shield recharge rate. Mana flasks. F2. Energy recharge. I mean, we got a bunch of rate recharges, but can we get more? 4% increase maximum energy shield. 5% damage bypasses energy shield. That's kind of what we were going for. For just huge energy shield. It's got options. In Ice Archer, when your energy shield recharge begins. Maybe we don't care about that. More cold damage. Convert 100% elemental damage spells to cold damage. Cannot deal non-cold damage. That's not helpful. Cold damage and energy shield. No. Energy shield is additional freeze threshold. 60% increased maximum energy shield. 20% slower start. 50% increase, 50% increase. They combine that with a whole bunch of start faster. Where it's all energy shield to mana, doubles mana cost. Slow damage when full energy shield. Significantly increased energy shield from equipped focus. Energy shield recharge rate. 30% of damage to recruit's life mana energy shield. 50% increased energy shield. 50% increase, 50% increased maximum. We got 44 more points to work with. Kind of wanted to get to this 40%. 5% bypasses, but then we have healing and recouping stuff. Actually does kind of solve that problem. Energy shield charges start when your minions are reformed. We don't have any minions to reform. Faster start, energy shield. 40% increase rate. More of that. We'll get this whole chunk here. Go up to this whole chunk. Allocate. Intelligence. Faster start, energy shield recharge. Faster recharge rate. 4% increase energy recharge rate and plus intelligence. 4% increase rate. Faster start. Max mana and max mana regen's also good. Just some mana regen. Energy shield recharge rate. Mana regeneration rate. That's more mana regeneration rate. Pretty bad. Energy shield. Energy shield. Energy shield. Maximum energy shield. Faster serve energy shield. Oh, there's so many things in here. Almost too many. That's really where it is, isn't it? Let me switch these to something. We've kind of gone past where we need the amount of plus intelligence. Maybe. Maximum energy shield. Increase maximum energy shield. Increase maximum energy shield. Maximum energy shield. Maximum energy shield. 70% energy shield from helmet. Less interesting. Ailment thresholds. Energy shield. Stun threshold. Energy shield. With that. Additional ailment threshold and stun threshold. We have that. Additional. It's more of that. Okay. What else can we go get? Increase energy shield recovery rate. Recovery rate. Got 19 more. More. Okay. And what else we got? Cooldown recovery, debuffs, some contrition. This is Ignite. We do elemental fire damage and stuff too. Last 15. What else could we get? Mana recovery from flasks. Not as impressive. And flasks cover more. Cast speed. It's more mana recovery. It's pretty good too. Fire. We got 2% fire damage. Elemental damage, fire damage, fire damage, lightning damage, magnitude of ignite. Reduce on you, I don't care about that. Minions, no. Increase fire damage. Increase fire damage. Increase fire burning enemies, kill 5% chance of exploding, deal 10th of their maximum life is fire damage, it's not too much. There's more fire damage though. Turns into chaos damage. Increase cold damage and fire damage. Increase fuse out, get cold damage, extra fire damage. It's like a cold and fire kind of thing. Damage generation fire damage plus 10 to strength. More penetration. Take those. And what else we want? We can get some of these infusion things since they're here. We need to ignite. Care about that. Duration. Here's the damage. 3% to all elemental resistances. 2% increase elemental damage. How's that? How's that for a thing? We got fire damage. We got energy shield. Got some of these new fire infusion stuff. Permanently destroyed? Potentially. Exposure effects. Well, we got to some stuff. I don't know. Going to places that we wanted to get to. Getting some stuff. Doing fire damage. Maybe we can get more levels doing things too. I'll apply it. If I pass this skill, we have the ability to take advantage of the one-off full passive reset. You want to proceed? Yep. Is it? Almost got to here, but we're fine. How's that going? Shield 1500, life 1300, and intelligence 157. So we definitely could do with slightly less intelligence if we wanted to put some more strength and stuff. We got 6 strength gems and 8 dex gems now, so that's kind of fine. Oh, the damage is just constantly changing based on this. That's making it difficult to look at things. Oh boy. Alright. Let's see here. So we're doing the same kind of idea. We put in sockets here. Yep. The big fuselage. The secondary fuselage. I already have a socket skill in, so we can no longer do double fuselage. Okay. So they've allowed us to do multiple of the little gems and not of the other ones. Awesome. Well, we can make a fireball 14 at least. We can't switch between them as effectively. It makes it much less usable. Fuselage, and then while we wait for it, the other fuselage, no longer an option. Yeah. Well, put fireball in, I guess. We need to get a thing that gives an additional slot thing. Oh, what's that even called? Orb. Yep, go. For you. get Incinerate, the Mana Remnants, and the Raging Spirits. Those are going. You have 4 more spaces and 5 more spells. Yeah. Firestorm, Flame Wall, Elemental Weaknesses, Flame Blast. I like that one. Fireball. This is so much less damage than every few slot DPS wise. Flame Blast hits everything though. Firestorm. 266 is the damage. Just from that. How much damage the Raging Spirits even do? I'd rather have a Solar Orb. I need the Solar Orb. The Flame Blast care about the Solar Orb anymore? Oh, the strike of energy around you, resist energy to an explosion, it slashes the energy channel for. It doesn't specifically say anything about the Solar Orb anymore. Raging Spirits weren't doing very much damage previously. The Solar Orb just keep going. Even Sand here, how much damage do they even do? It's 70% physical damage to fire damage. We have no quite physical damage. 10 spirits. Fire area spells summon a spirit. Tells from fire spells summon a spirit. 2 summons per spellcast. Spiritation 5. Physical damage to fire damage. I don't even know if that even does anything. They whack them with that. Actually do anything? Let's see how much damage they do. Take Spirit. I'm not even sure. What's something this for this Mana Remnants? Put anything even does anything on there? Maybe these other ones we like less. Incinerate's more annoying to deal with, honestly. Because needing to have fuel and everything to deal with that. Another thing to keep track of. Let's go with the spirits more than that. Consumes, and it can only ignite ground when it's got that going. Inflicts 8% less flammability magnitude, 2% less ignite. Fire from hand, lighting enemies, igniting enemies in front of you. Flames grow stronger. Yeah, it can only do the ignited ground if we have a fire infusion. And probably be easier to deal with doing that. Just put it into the firestorm. One less thing to worry about. Alright. Some of these are getting bonuses on the levels. Here's Living Bomb, that's just in our staff. Technically make use of that. That exists. And then we need to consider what things we want to put in. That's useless. That's low level. Might even need some of these to make new stuff. And in the Spirit Gem department, we got Raging Spirits. Instance is something else. I mean, we could put a different one on here. We're not using the Raging Spirits. That's 30 Spirit. Got 40 Spirit to work with. Grants a skill that you can use to instantly begin recharging energy shield and gain a buff for duration that prevents that recharge being interrupted. Buff. So remove a maximum energy shield and the skill cannot be used when energy shield is full. Buff duration 3.65 seconds. Cooldown's 30 seconds. To immediately begin recharging energy shield though. That could be something. Armor. Already have the mana remnants. Invocation. This costs more spirit though. 100 spirit for these. Cast on Elemental Ailment. While active, gain energy, free shock or ignite enemies, which you're gonna do a lot. Trigger second spells on reaching maximum energy. This never really did much, as far as I can tell previously. Consistent lightning. Elemental conflux. Current of raw power. You deal more damage. Randomly chosen element. Element effects change frequently. Yeah. Teleport. Cool. Chance to create an infusion remnant when you free shock. Ah, there we go. That's what we need. While active, has a chance to create an infusion remnant when you freeze, shock, or ignite a target. Remnants created by support skills can be collected from 32% further away. 5% chance per power to spawn a cold remnant on freezing a target. 5% chance to spawn a fire remnant on igniting a non-igniting target. We're igniting things constantly, so a 5% chance to spawn a fire remnant would actually make that be a thing that could happen. I think that's better than this. Because that just... When we get a fire remnant, I think we picked the things to do more damage, so... That could be something. Let's get more fire remnants. And we need a spot to put that in, though. Raging spirits. Out. Siphon elements in. We can put another spot on here. We have too many of these. That's alright. Could also check to make sure there's actually things going on in there, but new one. Siphon the elements. Okay. And if any gems, the gems are a whole separate business here. Skill gems, support gems. We have all these. Raging spirits we're gonna put away. We got all of these essentially. Okay. So now, we just need to look through all the gems and decide what gems we want to put in all the gems. Some of them work on some things, some of them don't. Presumably, we can, I think it said we could do multiple. Also create new ones. We may or may not have some of. Charge Perfusion. Amber Fusilade, we got Zenith 1. Levels of things. Higher level support gems. We don't even have higher level. Topped out at 3s. So presumably there's higher level stuff in here, which is interesting. Fire penetration 2. Yeah. We just have uncut support gem 3s. I think these were the max before. So that's something. I'm gonna just talk to Zolan. Extraplanar invasion. Take the otherworldly book of knowledge from Zolan. That might be something here. Wherever Act 4 or Interlude or whatever is. Grants 2 weapon set passive skill points. Plus 40 spirit. 2 weapon set skill points. I think the Interlude is some kind of replacement for going through Acts 1, 2, and 3 over and over again or something. Act 4 is only in the new thing, though. Or at least a little bit further here. We've made some choices, for better or worse. We got 1,000 mana. Spirit, to be sure. Spirit also takes up space in there, though. We got more mana, we can put more things. We got all these to look at. Put some stuff in to make things do more things. All of our things are doing things. And apparently our... This looks like it has a second charm slot. Something here giving us a second charm slot somehow. If things change. Stats on all the gear, maybe. Hard to say. Anyways. We need to put gems and stuff. I'm sure it's going to be just fine. Next time. Goodbye.